Rob Shenkman, you've had a stellar year on the amateur circuit, winning the British and US Amateur, MCC, Silver Racket, and as well as some open events like the Category A of the US Pro Satellite, and you've reached a scratch handicap for the first time. What has made this past season what it has been for you?
I just think a bit more dedication to in terms of on-court stuff, practicing what I'm not very good at, making some changes, sort of accepting that some parts of my game aren't as strong as others, and like trying to change those really. One thing I hadn't probably done in the past. I think as well, taking advice from a lot of people all around the world, parts of my game, that's given me a lot more stuff to work on. But like fundamentally the biggest thing, right, and anyone can listen to this, just letting the ball drop lower. Was just suddenly able to hit the ball harder, hit the ball more accurately. Started doing that in like January and started winning all these matches. So that is the one big thing, right, that I would say happened, and then just, yeah, it all came together. Crazy.
You scored your first victory against a top 6 player at the US Open. And now you've drawn the second seed here at the French. How does it feel being able to now compete at the upper echelons of the game?
Yeah, US Pro was good for me in June. Came to Newport with no real expectations, drawing chappers. Was lucky enough to put together a great performance, winning 5 sets. Probably not something I thought I'd be capable of, certainly like 5 years ago, or maybe growing up in the game. I think now, I know I've got the game to trouble these guys in the top 6, maybe not necessarily win the matches, but I know that they're not going to want to draw me. No one's going to want to draw me really in this kind of form. End of the day, I'm turned 27 this week, sort of coming into my prime physically, and yeah, I just think if you've got the self-belief, which I know I have, you can score some good victories, as you say. So looking forward to giving it my all against Nick this week.
Can you reflect a bit on the state of the amateur game, because you've been winning a lot of amateur tournaments this year? And what's the divide like between the top amateurs and the professionals? I
think there's definitely still a divide. Look, I try and look at myself as more of a professional, like in terms of how much I'm travelling, how seriously I dedicate myself to the game in terms of training, gym, watching back matches. So I think there is definitely still a divide. The top amateurs are obviously still there, but they're just not competing in as many tournaments. Because obviously you can't do, if you've got a job, you're not going to be able to get to America and stuff like that. I'm fortunate enough with my job that I can. I think the amateur game is very healthy though. We saw in the Van Allen Clothier Cups in Washington how well all the teams played. And look, we've got Ollie Pridmore, who was the Australian #1 here this week. So he's a really exciting prospect, 19 years old, and excited to see how he gets on against Nicola in the first round. So amateur game's looking good.
And how has your preparation for this tournament been?
Been very good. So since Hampton Court Champions Trophy, which was in July, sort of had a more relaxed August, definitely ramped it up in the last month or so. I've been practicing a lot with Darren in Manchester, got my gym right, so feeling fit, and feel like I'm hitting a good ball, to be honest. Trying to change a few things in my game since Hampton Court. Certainly taking my post-match recovery, sort of stretching, foam rolling, that kind of thing. Certainly taking that a lot more seriously this season. That's one thing which I think is going to give me a bit of an edge. Certainly help me to recover better. So feeling good. Let's just see how it goes on Sunday.
This is your second French Open. Can you reflect a bit on how your experience last year went?
So actually last year I drew the second seed, who was Rob Fay, and a similar sort of time. I think it was like an evening match, so quite similar this year. Loved being in Paris for the first time last year. Always great crowds coming in the evenings, and always a new challenge playing in any country really. Enjoyed it for sure. It was great to get a set off Rob. Hopefully can do similar against Nick this week, but fundamentally I think you get looked after really well here. Everyone's been billeted. There's always a friendly face to say hello in the club, so yeah, feel really relaxed here in Paris, and look forward to a great tournament.
So how's that experience going to help you for this week?
Just think knowing a few people around the club, knowing how it's all going to work. Being billeted again is great. The hospitality is awesome, and again there's great facilities here. Look, you've got a bar, I've got great areas to chill out, find some time to yourself, areas to warm up. So I think knowing your way around the club, orientating yourself in the city as well, in Paris, knowing where you might want to go and get some food, that's good as well. Just takes a bit of weight off the mind, really, knowing what you're doing.
And how are you finding the court and the balls and the practice ahead of the tournament?
Yeah, I had good fun today with Leon at 2 o'clock. I'm actually playing with Neil as well at 7, so sort of still in kit. But yeah, no, it's definitely a different court to a lot of the UK ones, a lot slower. Take a lot more cut. Here it's very bouncy, as we all know, but that just presents a new challenge. I think you've just got to adapt. Anyone who's blaming the balls, blaming the court, well, they probably don't belong playing at this level, really. You've just got to adapt, make the best of the conditions and work it out, really. That is real tennis, and experience counts for a lot, as we all know. Yeah, just going to have a think in the next few days about how I'm going to start that match against Nick, really.
And this is the first tournament of the new season. What are your goals and expectations for this season?
My goal is definitely to cement myself at my handicap at like +3, try and get to +4 maybe. I think long term, I think it's an exciting challenge to potentially look at the concept of a touring pro. I probably haven't told too many people this, but I know it's been done in the past. If you can reach a certain standard, look, I want to cement myself at that point in the game, get myself challenging for world ranking points further down the line, challenging for opens. I think, let's say, limiting yourself to amateur tournaments isn't really, that wouldn't really satisfy me. I think there's more to the game than that. The game's far bigger. So in terms of this season, just want to keep competing in the opens and hopefully going deeper in the weeks as the tournaments go on.
Rob Shenkman, thank you very much.
Thank you.